Fast forward a little bit of time, and once again, I struck gold. I have a small cache of new old stock parts for the 425, 430 CDT, 435 CDT. So, the Varda damaged motherboard laptop may actually live again because, well, I have a TFT LCD screen, which this one's slightly different than the one that's in there now, so it may not fit. But we have a new old stock front display bezel. Not like I'll need it, but you know, I have one. So we got that. We have in here, let's see what's down in here. We have some new old stock LCD cables. So this is a single cable and not a dual cable. So that's for a TFT panel, pretty sure. Yeah, that's for the TFT panel. That may fit this panel, may not sure. This is a DSTN cable. This is also DSTN. So that's DSTN, that's DSTN, and that is TFT. May or may not fit. Do not know. But the most important thing to me is we have not one, but two new old stock motherboards. Because look at this. You'll never find another one. You'll never find them new in the box like this again. Yeah. Brand spanking new. Brand new. I mean, how often do you run into that? No Varda damage. Everything looks perfect. So, hopefully this guy here will solve my problem. It should. I mean, it's brand spanking new. But yeah, I mean, you're not gonna run into this again. All this stuff came from the same person I got the Toshiba T4600, 4500 stuff from. This is the leftover stuff from Computer Reset, by the way. That's where this stuff came from. So let me get that out of the way. But yeah, we got another one. This one's still sealed. Still sealed. Has not been opened. Yeah, not been opened. Don't need to open that. But you know what's good about that, though? Whoops. You know what's good about that, though? I can use those motherboards. We'll fix the one machine with the one, but then use the other one as a reference for chasing down traces to figure out where the open is on the bad board. Top cover assembly, 732,000. So that is a cover assembly. I don't know. This is a P00236080. P00236080. This one's already been opened. This one. Alright, let's look at this. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, yes. Brand new old stock top cover assembly. Brand spanking new. That's going to make this laptop look so sweet. So I'm going to keep you off to the side because I want to need you. And this is a 237340. What is this one? This is another Toshiba top cover. Let's see. Yeah. 236070. Nope, it's different. This is a 237. Let's see, what is this? Oh wow, these are rear LCD covers. Man, look at that. Wow, I have never in my life ever seen what a brand new Toshiba looks like. That is amazing. Yeah, that's something else. Let me set that out of the way. And then look at you, because I think you're the same. Yep. No, that's all top cover assembly. So we have yet another top cover assembly. Wow. I don't need all these top covers, so once I get done fixing what I got done fixing, the rest of these can honestly go away. So, and then this one, same thing. It's not open though. So there we go. Perfect. So let's take a look at all of this stuff and pull out what we need. Yeah, that's brand spanking new. I mean, look at that. New hinges, new palm rest, new rear cover. The only downside is this one, unfortunately, has the passive matrix cable in it. So I've got to look, because I got a couple more of these. I got to look and see if the other one has the active matrix cable, because if not, that means I got to take this out. And let me tell you, these things are brittle as all get out. But wow, that's... I'm sorry, it's just mind-blowing to me that seeing like a brand new Toshiba from the 90s in 2025. That's... yeah. So that part number was the 080. This is the 070. This one has the TFT cable. So this one looks like a winner. So wow, this is just incredible. I'm sorry. It's incredible seeing this. So yeah, there's our cables, everything we need to plug the LCD in. So only thing really is to start reassembling this thing. It's just, it's mind-blowing. It's great. It's freaking great. Okay, that's going to be fun to kind of reflex around, because here's the problem. You already see it happening. That is flexing, which is an issue because I bet that cracks and breaks. Yep, we'll figure that out. Without further ado, let's get into a little bit of unboxing here. So it's going to be hard to do this single-handedly, so I'm just going to try to carefully cut this tape. It's so old that the sticker's just coming undone. Nope. Anywho. Oh, yes. So that's what a new motherboard is supposed to look like. We have two caps we're probably going to need to change, but otherwise, that is really impressive. So, yeah, there's no marks, there's no nothing. It's like brand spanking new. More importantly, let's take a look down here. Absolutely zero Varta damage. So we have a perfect basis of reference. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if I own the only two motherboards in existence that do not have any signs of battery leakage, unless someone bought one of these machines early enough and removed the battery long before they became a problem, which is rare, but not impossible. That one still has the thingy-mabobs on it for the dock, which I don't have the dock, so that doesn't matter, but yeah, this is cool. This bag has never been opened. I just opened it for the first time since it was sealed back in whenever it was, 1997. Actually, the box said stock 2000, so since this thing has been sealed in the year 2000, it's not been opened until I opened it. That's also kind of surreal to think too, but anywho, we have a new old stock motherboard, so we can finally start putting that laptop back together properly now and hope it works. Now, before I put this new motherboard in, there's a couple things I want to do. First off, I want to change the caps because These are kind of known for leaking. This one hasn't done it yet, but they all do. This is a 10 microfarad at 6 volt, which I can probably use a tantalum there and be all right. And there's two more up here. Now, these are the polymer caps. I'm not going to worry about those, but there's this one right here, this 56 at 16. And then there's this 100 at 6 that need to be replaced. Now, this board is from, probably 1996. Yeah, board is from like 96, 97. So it's new enough because it was the early to mid 90s when these caps were really, really leaking, but it's old. It's old, needs attention. So we're going to change those three out. I don't see any other ones on here that are of concern, so I'll probably ignore that. But yeah, that's an issue. So we're going to change these two and then change the one on the other side. And I won't mess with these Oscon polymer caps because those rarely go bad. I think there was one laptop I worked on where I had a problem with one or two of these, but that's it. It's rare that you ever have a problem with those. All right, new capacitors installed on the top of the board here. You're not going to be able to see it, but the new tantalum is up under there. So we're going to get this board reinstalled, and hopefully this time the machine will post. We're going to find out. Alright, before I get carried away, I want to test this board before I go reassembling everything and then the board doesn't work, right? Now, I got it backwards. The TFT panel was the dual cable where the passive matrix only had the single cable, so got them backwards, so I have to go flip-flop those cases around, but that's not a big deal. So anyway, let's plug the power in and press the button. We don't have any indicators plugged in to know if it's on, so let's see if it comes on. Nothing yet. Oh, yep, there it is. God, that inverter is loud. Wow, so yes, it posts. Oh, there's the cursor. That's cool. So we have a working motherboard. Finally! I mean, it's not battery bombed, so we better. But, alright. That is amazing. We have a working motherboard. We're good. But yeah, the inverter is loud on this thing. But if I take a good look at this graphics card here real quick, yeah, it's got the single plug instead of the dual. So I had them backwards. Sorry, it's been a while since I've looked at this stuff. So, but this is the passive matrix display, which I don't necessarily want or need, but I'll hang on to just in case. That's broken, but that's not a big deal. And yeah, this is the Satellite Pro. Now, the only thing I don't have is I do not have those stickers, nor do I know how to make them. So if anybody is good at stickers and can remake these, let me know, because I'd like to get these remade. And I know there's different ones for different models. It would probably be better just to make the generic one like this. But anywho, there we go. So the other thing I want to figure out how to work on is this LCD panel. So this is the TFT panel, and I remember while it did work, for the little bit that it did, the backlight was really yellow. So I need to take this panel apart and see why that is. And I'm curious how similar this is to that other panel that doesn't match. Because if it's the same, what I could do, actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug the other panel into the inverter and see how good the backlight looks. And if it's nice and white, then what I'll do is I'll figure out how to swap the backlight assemblies between the two panels, if I can, to try to make one good panel. Because that other panel, even though it's new in the box, won't do me any good because it doesn't go to anything. Yeah, let me look into that. Alright, so the LCD that's the wrong one, but I got it connected into the inverter. And look, nice and white. It is not yellowed whatsoever. So I think the lamp is on that side, but I mean, there's a little bit of yellow tinging on this side, but otherwise it's actually good. So that panel is good. Now this one here, this one is extremely yellowed. So let me fire that one up real quick. Alright, so now that the original panel, let's try you out. Turn you on. And see how that one looks. As soon as it kicks on. Yeah. Oh yeah, you see how orange that one is? That one's very orange. So, but this one has the backlight tube at the top and not the side. So this one has a different backlight assembly. So I don't know how we're going to make that work. What I'd like to do is take this apart and figure out what is yellowed and why. Starting to reassemble the bottom half with the new board. So here's the problem with leaving things sit for about a month, month and a half. I don't remember where any of this goes. So I gotta figure all of that out. Alright, so I got the cover out and I'm slowly getting the adapter PCB connected on because this LCD uses that style connector versus these. But the other panel lid does not have this weird hinge piece. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work out yet. I'm not sure because this is caught up over it. This has got to be underneath it. I'm not sure. I got to figure that out, but slowly getting this together. The other thing is too is this cable. Since it's been in this position here all of its life, it's going to be really difficult to get this cable bent 90 degrees to go where the graphics card's going, because the problem is these things are kind of notorious for this type of cloth style tape to fall apart and crumble. So I got to figure that part out. Otherwise it won't be so bad. I think the cable that came with the upper display assembly here is meant for a different model, because for the life of me I can't get this cable to fit properly in there. The beads are slightly different than the original. I can't get it to wrap around and get this thing to plug in. It just, and then it's bulging out here and I can't get it together. So I don't think it's the right cable. However, I went through the other stuff that I got and I believe this is the right one, because that looks correct. This is the original back here. So that one went in here like so, and wrapped around there, and it just connected into the card. Now, do I need to replace the cable? No. I mean, I could reuse this original cable. There's nothing wrong with this cable. It's just a little tough to work around. But that's essentially the cable right there. This one does not fit. So, yeah. Also, this one's all squeezed together, too, from the original LCD panel. So perhaps I just put that back in there, because I don't think that's going to work any other way. The reason why I say that is these cables, even though they're new old stock. And because they're so old, they're not pliable anymore. They're hard. They're very hard to move. They don't squeeze. They're not flexible like a modern wire. So I'm probably going to have to put that one back in there. Okay, that cable fits a lot better. And this is what I mean when I had to break that off. Because if you look, that thing sticks out. It can't, yeah. Anywho. Alright, so hopefully this thing turns on and works, because I think I was having backlight problems earlier. The inverter shutting off. So let's see. We have power. Do we have post? We do. But then we have an immediate backlight shut off. So yeah, I think the inverter's gone bad on me. Of course it did. Because I bet if I turn the flashlight on. Yeah, see? You can definitely tell. Yeah, the backlight's good. So that means, or I mean the backlight's out. So that means the inverter has gone bad. Excellent. Alright, well let's try this inverter. Not holding high hopes, because I remember this one. This one's from the other panel, and that one was screaming. Let's see. Yep, that one stays on. But you can hear it screaming. Alright, well, what we're going to need to do then, I guess, is... because this one won't stay on for some screwball reason. So I'm going to pull the cap off that I replaced and move it to this one. If I didn't mention this before, I'm going to mention it now. So the screaming inverter, noisy inverter symptom is caused by this right here. Look how leaky that capacitor is. So that is why that happens. Alright, caps changed. Threw the other inverter in there that was working but screaming. Let's try that one out and see what that one does. Hopefully it settles down, but we'll see. Power on. Hey! No screaming, and it lights up. Perfect. So somehow this inverter got damaged. It was working and now it's not. Ah, well, that's just how it goes sometimes. But we're good now. Alright, so this thing is loosely put back together, with the exception of the keyboard trim ring, because here's the deal. The two plastic hinge inserts, the keyboard trim ring, and these mouse buttons are made of an ABS plus PC, and they're all brittle, so you have to be super careful with that. Other than that, everything else went back together. Need stickers, but I can get the Windows sticker and the Pentium sticker from Geek and Spiel. That sticker is going to be a problem. I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. These two stickers are going to be a problem. And the thing is, I'm not sure how to color match, and I don't know how to make those stickers, because I'm sure you can get these rough textured blank stickers and order them online. You just got to get the right colors. I'd rather just get blanks, but anywho. So, hard drive is installed. Everything is back in there, so let's see what this thing does. Oh, one thing I did notice is this is not an American keyboard. I don't know what keyboard that is, but it's definitely not American. Now, I have the American keyboard. Problem is, it's battery bombed. And trust me, I already tried it. It's screwed. It doesn't work. So, and the membranes are not the same. Key layout's not the same. I need to figure out where to find another one of those keyboards. Yeah, the shift key is worn out, but that's not a big deal. What I could probably do, because if the matrix is the same, I could pick the American layout in software and just move some of these keys around. But even then, the space bar, you're kind of hosed, because this key over here is that key on this one, whereas on this one it's the tilde key and the hashtag key, which is where that's okay. It looks like it's a Great Britain keyboard, so it's like the hashtag key, but the tilde key's down here on here. But you got it's silly. I don't know how to fix this problem, but it may not be an issue. So, anyways, that keyboard works fine, and now we're back on again, and we don't have a freeze, because remember, it froze right here before. So let's go ahead and exit. It's not going to save anyways because there's no battery in there. But I'm pretty sure this hard drive doesn't have an OS. It's been wiped. Let's see. 16 megs of onboard memory, I think. Yep. Just initialize the drive and nothing. Alright, so I think the drive is either dead or it's been erased. And the problem is I do not have the floppy drive that connects here to be able to solve that problem. So what we're going to do is just take this drive out, put it in another machine, get it at least DOS bootable and a copy of Windows on that drive, and then move it back over here. But I'm not going to cover that in this video. But also, I noticed I've got both RAM cards, one that came with it and one from the parts machine. Well, both of them are scrap machines, but I need to check to see if both of these work, because I'm curious if I could take all the chips off of one, move it to the other, and have a 32 megabyte module instead of a 16. Something to think about. Anywho, first things first, I need to get this drive in a state where I can actually do something with it. What's better than pulling out another Toshiba? Yeah, the drive's blank. It's been erased. I'm not surprised. It probably had personal information on it or whatever. But, alright, so we're just gonna repartition it and reformat it. We're going to format it a system drive. So we're going to reboot this thing and then copy Windows on it. Alright, yeah, this boot disk is designed for my external portable CD-ROM drive, which I'm not using. I need the internal driver, which I don't have a boot disk for that. I don't think I do anyways. Maybe I do. But I don't think so. Anyways, I might have to make one. Regardless. We've got to format the system, or the C drive as the system. Which is exactly what we're going to do. And it's reading the system files into memory, so it's taking forever. Format, and there we go. At least at this point, I'll know it has bad sectors, or not. And that's all it takes to get it going. We just make a bootable drive and then copy all the cabs over from another computer and then install it from this one. Yeah, we're going to do that. Alright. Yeah, the screen is very yellowed. It's the light spreader. There's not much I can do about it. I mean, I could attempt to take the light spreader back out of here and put it in like a retro bright container or something, but I don't know. Anywho, we're gonna get this thing installed and going, but we're getting close to wrapping up, so we'll just keep on moving. That thing is so beautiful looking. I mean, I don't know, I just can't get over it, because the thing is, it's like when these machines were new, I was a literal child. So, of course, I could never afford to see or play with or have access to anything like that. Now, it's not perfect. We've got the door missing on the side, which I don't have. I might be able to model that because it's just a simple shape and make a new one. But it's gonna kind of look out of place, but because you're not gonna find that exact color. And then I think that's about it, really. I need to make sure I'm not missing anything on the rear, any screws or anything like that. I'm not. But otherwise, the machine is nice. I mean, it came out really well. Now, here's the issue. Gotta be careful, because these little ABS PC hinge covers under here are cracking because they're brittle. Same thing's happening to this mouse button. See, this one's already gotten loose on this side. And there's nothing you can do about it. It just is what it is. I might be able to 3D print replacements once I figure out how to model it, because the thing is, I am not good at CAD. CAD is just not my forte. So, Anyways, they would need to be modeled or maybe like rubber coated on the bottom to prevent it from cracking apart. I don't know how to fix it. And then, of course, we have the keyboard itself because we don't have the trim ring. The trim ring's broken. Not much I can do about that. But then the keyboard itself is not the right one and it's worn out. And the only one that I have is bad. So there's some imperfections. And there's not much I can do about that at the moment. But otherwise, it's working perfectly fine. Now, I did notice this machine will not hold the CMOS settings if it's turned off even while it's plugged in or if the main battery's in there. It doesn't matter. This thing really needs to have its VARDA installed because the real-time clock does not get power from standby, unfortunately. But otherwise, we've got Windows installed. Everything seems to be working fine. It's going to do a RAM count. I took one of the 2 RAM cards and put in there. So it's not perfect. There's some more work that needs to be done. But which brings me up to my next point. So it's always a delicate balance between content and time and space. Those 3 things. Because if I don't get this wrapped up and get it out of my way now, it's just going to sit splawed out everywhere. But if I find a space for it and then come back to it later, well, then the footage is going to continue to sit in my drive and never get uploaded because I have so much footage from so many videos that spans back to my little cabin trailer that I was living in back in 2022 and earlier that I have not uploaded. So it gets hairy. But anyways, so I gotta come up with a compromise because I know there's a bunch of other pending projects waiting that need to have attention. So I gotta get this thing off my bench and I gotta move on. But anywho, we have the RAM that I gotta do the upgrade for to try to merge 2 into 1. I don't want to do that now because again that's going to take a whole bunch of time and I have to allocate my time carefully for the next VCF show. So that needs to be taken care of. So I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this video up. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. The CD-ROM drive works. I'm actually surprised because I took the CD-ROM drive and I used the Office 97 install disk that I have and it actually read it immediately without any hesitation and was able to install it. And one thing I noticed about this particular drive is it's the hole is designed for a full-size CD-ROM, but it's got the slimline drive in it. Because this became the standard later on, and this is what everyone used. But prior to that, there was the older standard that took the entire, full-height laptop drive size. But anyways, nice and clean, and it's ready to go back into storage. We'll come back to that another day when I merge the memory and do something about the broken plastics with some 3D printing stuff, which, who knows. What better way to wrap it up than to play an MP3? It's struggling with it. But this is only a Pentium 120. Well, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Please feel free to leave a comment if you have one. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching.